Hey, it's your girl, Carmel Jean-Francois, Coach Carmel, that is owner, founder, and CEO of CFIT Coaching. Welcome back to my channel. Always a pleasure to have you here. I have somebody that I would love for you to meet. This woman is a powerhouse. She's a medical professional. Hail to the queen. I had the pleasure of meeting this woman when I was actually chosen to be part of a grant held by Goldman Sachs. And she and I connected. I said, listen, you got something that I want. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. She comes from a faith-based kind of spin to what she's doing. She's here to not only educate, but medicate. We could talk a little bit more about that too. And also making sure that her sisters have something cute to wear. We'll talk more about that too. But I would love for you to hear a little bit more about my guest, Sha. I would like you to hear a little bit more about her from none other than her. So I'm going to bring her up on stage. Welcome, beauty. How are you tonight?
Hello, my Black in Business Goldman Sachs sister, Carmel. I love it. I'm so excited to see your face again. It has been a long time.
It's been a while, but it's been a while since we saw each other face to face and chatted, but we've been in communication quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Yes. So before we get into that and discuss what it is that we're doing together, I would love for the folks to know who you are and what you're doing and what you present and how you nurture your sisters and your Black people and your people in general. So go ahead.
Absolutely. So thank you, first of all, for inviting me to speak with you and to share your audience with who can become my audience one day. My name is Sha, and I am the owner and founder of functionalfitwear.com. And I birthed this business. Of course, during COVID, we all found additional things to do. I am a nurse by trade, graduate of University of Maryland and Hampton University. Go Terps and go Pirates. And so in my wellness journey, I ended up starting my own business because I transitioned from working in the hospital to working from home. Even as a nurse, you can do that. So reach out to me if you need to know more about that. But in doing so and not working the hospital halls and walking and being on my feet, I had a 25-pound weight gain in 1 year without having a child. And in doing that, I still, knew better to get moving, get up from the desk was so important to me to start getting better on my wellness journey. And when I went to order my own fitness apparel to exercise at home during the COVID time that we had, and we all made it through, thank God, those of us who are still here. When that happened, I ordered the clothes online and they showed up as a medium. I ordered an extra large. I was bigger than what I am now. I was wearing an extra large in other brands and the clothes showed up so small. They did not serve my curves whatsoever. So what did I decide to do? Like most sisters do, I made it myself. And that birthed functionalfitwear.com. And so in doing so, I decided to design. I knew I couldn't be the only one who needed things to be true to size to serve whatever it would be, the curves, the hips, the chest, what have you, and still want to move and have dry wicking material and clothes that served a function, clothes that would serve me by having deep pockets so I could put my phone or my key fob and be on my way. But that's what started out. I wanted to make sure that there was representation. And so this was at this time when Functional Fitwear got started, the only business you really saw checking for Black women of a particular size were like Dove commercials. And so by the time I got going, everybody else kind of woke up. And so I was still working at it, but just because it was COVID and there were some challenges with shipping and things like that and working on my materials. But longer story shorter, that birthed the business and an opportunity that I saw to serve not only myself, but to serve others as well, to provide quality sizing. So Functional Fitwear started out only doing plus size fitness apparel. And then the people who were already in shape were like, where's my size? That's cute. And so I was like, oh, my bad. Right. And so I now go to double extra small to 6XL. And that was something that was very important to me. I wanted to make sure that we were not judged based on what our bodies appear like. We have, different abilities and skill sets, regardless of size. And so it was really important to develop and build a brand that was inclusive. And that's what functionalfitwear.com is all about. So that's why we go by Serving Curves Cuteness.
Serving Curves Cuteness. I love that. And I love that story and how you were like, look, if it's not out there, I'm just going to make it myself, right? So how long have you been in business? Since 2020?
Yes, since 2020. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so the audacity for you to do that, right? Like, it's
that part. It's overwhelming. Like, you can end up with negative self-talk where you're thinking, I don't have a six-pack. How dare I? How dare I build a fitness apparel brand and design and do measurements on women that look like me, some that are taller, some that are shorter, some that are wider, in order to make sure I'm accurately serving them? How dare I? Right. Who better than me? Period.
Than you. And your story, I just want to go back a little bit. Your story with how you were, I love how you were like, I gained 25 pounds and I wasn't even pregnant. Like,
yeah, I was used to the 35-pound weight gain with the baby, but that's supposed to come off after or kind of linger a little bit, but not just from transitioning. You don't realize when you telework, for those who are out there that do work from home and have these remote, wonderful jobs, there's still a little bit of a sacrifice that you're making, depending on what you do. And you can just find the hours fly by with you being pretty sedentary, and the pounds just pack on and the muscles just attempt to atrophy. And you have to do something for your own health. Like they say, sedentary work and sedentary lifestyle is really like the new cigarette. So your cholesterol flies up, your blood sugar flies up, your blood pressure flies up, and all of that challenges your heart. It challenges your kidneys to work at this body that is just sitting still and stagnant. So I had to choose to put myself first. I had to start making myself get up from the desk. You really need to get up every hour. I had to actually transition into getting a under the desk treadmill, so that at least while I'm working, let me figure out and learn how to multitask, type, read, and walk at the same time, so that I can get these steps in instead of sitting still for 8 hours and then promising yourself that you're going to go for a walk after work. Sometimes you're just done.
You don't get there.
So I was like, well, we're going to make sure it happens. So there's just different ways we have to all be very, very proactive and vigilant on our health.
I love everything that you just said. And this is coming from a medical professional, y'all. Like, you understand the value of movement. After the pandemic myself, during the pandemic myself, I stayed very active, but I transitioned from a job that had me on my feet all day long to sitting at a desk, because now everything that I was doing on my feet was being converted to online platforms. Okay. And it was after that I was diagnosed with prediabetes, high cholesterol, and fatty liver disease. And that's what I attribute to it. The fact that I wasn't moving as much. I had become sedentary. I had become that 9 to 5 sedentary worker, even though I was still maintaining a good level of exercise in the morning. Because even if you're exercising in the morning, if you're sedentary for the rest of the day, that still counts. That still counts towards the negative points, right?
Counterbalance. Yeah.
Thank you for that. The counterbalance. So I definitely hear you. I definitely resonate. And I'm sure so many people that will be watching this will resonate with that story as well. So you started Functional Fitwear. And okay, so you had this bright idea. Who did you reach out to? How did you get that rolling and off the ground?
I am a traditional learner. I know that about myself. I'm a traditional learner and I'm a little risk adverse. And I know that about myself. And that's really, really cool when you're aware of your strengths and your areas of opportunity. And so for me, being a traditional learner, I actually took a class with another entrepreneur. She was offering a course in how to learn how to have an online boutique. So in developing designs for functional fitwear, I took a course from her. After that, I added to my education, of course, with Goldman Sachs, 1 Million Black Women, Black in Business, which was a phenomenal opportunity. I've also taken, faith-based entrepreneurship classes as well, developing women entrepreneurs who have a faith-based business. And even there's another program that I did, but it is on Functional Fit Me. But, pulling education out from the different experiences and learning from mentors, business mentors, was how I started to learn how to develop the business side. Because even though I was developing products that I enjoyed and other people enjoyed, I'm a nurse. So in healthcare, they don't really add business classes to our regimen and our program. So those were the areas of opportunity that I had to learn about.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, so you're pulling from here, pulling from there, getting everything that you need. How is business these days?
Business is going great. I have to say, I'm so grateful. It's a creative outlet for me. I love it. I'm passionate about functionalfitwear.com. I wanted to be able to show my young kings that I'm raising that they can grow their own business and kind of be that example. But what I'm most excited about, two things. One, I use this business to also be a platform to share that honestly and openly that it is faith-based, that I do have a higher power that, I'm accountable to in how I run my business. And so I wanted there to be representation. For me, I'm a Christian, so I wanted there to be representation of Christ in the clothes and have what I call wearable word, because you never know what's going to strike a conversation and open up an opportunity. Sometimes it's just from someone wearing a shirt asking, what does that mean? Or it could just be that someone's wearing an outfit that's faith-based, but someone's kind of observing you to see kind of how you move, how you function. And then that may open up an opportunity for them to find out where you worship or ask more questions. And that can actually draw them to Christ based on, how you kind of live your life. You never know how God works. So it's been interesting. And that's been a faith walk for me, starting a business and having to lean on God in so many different ways and stepping out on faith and starting a business. So it's been a blessing. And then the second thing that I've been doing a lot more of lately, I've been doing it about 3 years. And that has to do with the shirt you have on right now, which I love to see. And that is functionalfitwear.com supports other business owners. I am a person who enjoys seeing others successful. I don't believe that there's any limits whatsoever. And I don't feel like there's any limit of like a pie. I feel that my God is limitless. So I know that there's opportunity to help create. And I understood, as a new business owner dealing with product, how limiting it can be financially when you don't have backing, when you don't have VCs, when you don't have, legacy money waiting for you to just spend. I understood what it meant in starting functionalfitwear.com to bootstrap, to use savings. So when I talk about a faith walk, I mean it, but again, risk adverse. So I did it as I could. So by that, it kind of taught me, there's other business owners, other entrepreneurs that should represent their brand. No one else's but their own. And they shouldn't have to buy a bulk order in order to do so. You shouldn't have to invest in 150 C-Fit shirts just because you want to make your apparel available to those who support you in your circles. So that's what's, really, really kicked up lately for functionalfitwear.com, which also gives me another creative outlet, is to see how can I serve someone else in that capacity. And so it was so awesome that we connected. Like, I feel like the last day maybe in New York, and we were like, we're going to connect. And so we knew we had fitness in common. That's all we knew.
That's it.
That was all that we knew. And we had opportunities to catch up and connect and keep in touch and encourage one another in business. But, seeing you do your videos on YouTube and pouring into other people out in the world, walking, running, all these different things I kept seeing you do. I was like, I want to see her represent herself. I didn't even want to see you in functional fitwear with the double Fs, which shout out to someone who made my logo when he was 9. But
wait, back up a little bit. Who made your logo? Your son?
That logo right there. He was
Yes.
9 years old. He's made several other logos for other business owners since.
Yeah.
He doesn't even feel like doing it because he's a teenager, but people reach out because they see mine and they're like, who did yours? And I refer them to him who did mine. I think you just froze, Carmel. Hopefully she will unfreeze. But I'll just continue to share until she comes unfrozen. That, oh, there you are. Now I see two of you. Do you see two of you?
I see that there is a second of me, my
Okay.
twin. She's going to disappear in a second. Let me see if I can get rid of her.
There
Okay,
we
there.
go. So yeah, I was just gonna go on to share that I love seeing you represent you. It is so powerful.
Thank
So
you.
I love that, you share, we discuss, we come up with a plan, you let me know what your needs are. That's based on the season.
Right.
And so, another entrepreneur doesn't have to invest in all this stock and inventory just because you want to make different opportunities available to those that support you and want to represent your brand. So I love making that available to business owners, and that's been getting pretty busy.
So I'm so happy that it's getting busy for you, because this was such an opportunity for me, and I was just like, wait, you do what? Can I get a little bit of that? And the way you did it. And so I wanted to say, there's a few things that you've said, because you've said a lot, and I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Back to the faith-based aspect of your business, or the faith-based business. I think it's so beautiful. So many of us keep out that part of our lives from our businesses. But if that is our lifestyle, if that's it, that is who we are, why can't it shine through with what it is that we're doing? And it's come full circle for you, where now you are serving a community in so many ways. You're serving a community by keeping the inclusivity in the clothing. You're serving a community and you're supporting those who want to do better for themselves, as far as staying movement is concerned, by being a proponent of movement and encouraging our brothers and sisters to get out there and keep active and stay healthy, because you are at the front line. You see what people are suffering with, and you can see a lot of the chronic conditions where we don't really have to suffer from, if we're a little bit more intentional about not only what we eat, but how much we move. And so you're serving in that aspect. And then on the business end, you're doing your thing. And so you are an inspiration to your sons. You are an inspiration to other young girls. You are an inspiration to your peers, where you're doing the thing. Because I know, like, being a nurse, I can't even imagine the level of education that comes along with it, the level of education, and also, I said education, the level of what you have to put forth, like the exertion. And even if you are working from home, it's a lot, and it could be a lot emotionally, physically. It could take its toll on you. See things and you experience things that people really don't really have any idea of what goes on in the hospital and what goes on in the human being's body, right? And you have that, and then you're running this business where you continue to serve and pour into other people. I think that's just absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So you're very welcome. You are an incredible woman, and you stay beautiful at that. And I'm just going to get you through all of that.
Nobody loves the camera. Listen, the camera loves Carmel, period.
Listen, I love the camera back. So
I have an opportunity to see, the end result of when we don't do the things we need to do. If you think of your body like a car, let's just say a top-notch car, right? You have to put the right amount of gas to keep that car running. And you have to put the quality gas to keep that car going beyond 100,000 miles, right? So if we want longevity from these bodies, we have to be very intentional about the fuel that we're choosing. If you want the car to run, you have to run the car. I don't care if you have a gorgeous brand new car. If you leave it sitting there for 5 years, it's not going to run. So We need these bodies to run. We need longevity. We have to be intentional about choosing healthy foods. And I love that you share that on your YouTube page. It's so powerful. Keep educating, keep doing what you're doing, keep showing the example. It's necessary. I'm seeing the end result of the diabetes, the uncontrolled blood sugars, that when people are unaware of it, these things are oftentimes a silent killer until they're not. So elevated blood sugars, uncontrolled, the toll that takes on your kidneys, the toll it takes that you drink soda instead of water takes a toll. Watch some mechanics, do a search online and watch mechanics clean the rust off of nails with Coca-Cola or Pepsi or a soda. They use it deliberately to clean the rust off. They're using soda products to do that. So, think about what that's doing to your arteries and your veins and how sensitive that they are. Think about that your kidneys and every cell in your body actually does need water. It's not a want, it's a need. So we can do things to be creative about taking the best care of our bodies. We can, if you need flavor and you don't like the way water tastes, and I get it, because before I developed the habit, I didn't want it either. You can do things like choose your favorite fruit, such as a strawberry or a sliced up orange, and put it in there. You can squeeze a lime into it to add some flavor that is palatable to you. But yes, there's great intention about the way functional fitwear works. I provide a 91-ounce bottle that's actually a selfie jug. I don't promote my products the way I need to. I do need social media support. But anyway, and marketing support. I'm grateful to God that this business has thrived on word of mouth and referral. Like it's been out of control because I've never marketed it, but it's still an opportunity to grow. But I will tell you, the selfie jug was created to get people to increase their water. And it has a magnet on the side that you put on the back of your cell phone so that you can watch the workouts or record yourself or take your selfie and have it with your jug of water. Like there's always a function to things on functional fitwear. And that's why that's the name of the business. But I do see a lot on the healthcare aspect. I do want our people to have knowledge and do better and get up and move and stay walking, keep their balance all throughout their lives. That's what motivates me from the healthcare aspect, to share information and to encourage and to show regardless of age. Because shout out 50-year-old, hey. It is something. It's a blessing. And it's a blessing because I know I didn't think 50 was going to look or feel like this. How about you?
Girl, no. But I am celebrating, I'm strutting my stuff and I'm like 50, never.
We have options in this life. We can drink our water. We can do our self-care. We can take care of our skin. We can keep moving. We can eat quality fruits and vegetables.
And we can enjoy it.
Find what you enjoy and make, intentional, educated decisions. And so for me, I wanted to make sure that the woman who may be a 5X, a 6X, a 4X, what have you, if her thighs are rubbing when she walks and it becomes painful, I wanted to make sure she had something to wear that was going to negate that. I wanted to make sure she had something to wear that regardless of how much she sweats, it's going to dry quickly and she's not going to look a hot mess. I wanted to make sure that when she does her squats to her capacity, whatever she can do, whether she could drop it low or not, she was not going to have crack attack in her class, and that she was going to have a high-waisted band that was going to support her when she wore her functional fitwear leggings. That is what functional fitwear is about. I wanted to make sure that when she jumped rope, because she can, right, regardless of size, that her breasts were going to be supported with a high-functioning bra. It was important for me to come up with those opportunities for not only myself, but other women out there that need to move.
And she could do all that while looking super cute. While looking super cute. Well, no, I appreciate all of that and everything that you just said. And I also appreciate, so when I first came to you and you told me like this is the community that you serve, and I was just like, oh, well, I want XYZ. And then as you started populating your website with the CFIT logo, with pieces of clothing that I was choosing with the CFIT logo, I saw it ranged everything from 2 extra small,
double extra small, yep, to 6XL.
And I was really proud of that fact, because everybody that's following me or probably wants to support me does not look like me, right? And but they still want to look cute, and they still know what their goals are. And half of them don't even want to look like me, right? I always make a joke that I look like a 12 prepubescent girl, like a 12-year-old girl.
Stop. Please, we see the gun show. She's out there, shing, 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 with her CFIT hat on, and I love it. And, you know, some days, but I love the choices that you've chosen. I love that you've chosen hats, you know, and because I love to wear a cap myself that catches the sweat, you know, and pull the hair back or not. You know, we change from day to day, and nothing should hold us back from getting our movement in and serving our bodies well. That's part of self-care. Like, I had to learn fitness is self-care. You owe it to yourself.
For sure, self-care. But still, I gotta tell you, Sha, there's still a lot of people out there that shy away from fitness. And they don't want to do it, be it whether they don't want to sweat, or maybe they just don't even know what to do. What do you have to say to those types of people? They don't know what to do, and frankly, I can live without it.
Well, the living without it can come into question.
Right.
It may be living without it, but for how long, right? So you have to treat your body well. And I would suggest to anyone who either may be unaware that they even need it, I would encourage them to see a physician. I would encourage them to do a wellness check, even if you just go to your doctor for the annual physical, or with your employer who may have, you know, a health office to refer you to that maybe does annual physicals for your job. Get your annual physical done. Pay attention to those numbers. Know your numbers. Know what your blood sugar is. Know what your fasting blood sugar is. Learn what an A1C is. We can learn all these things from YouTube University. Learn that. Learn that, you know, because it's going to change you. It's going to educate you about you. Yeah. It's going to let you know, can your body tolerate whether it's a lot of meat consumption or a lot of fried consumption or a lot of sugar consumption? How's your body tolerating that? And how is it tolerating it now versus how will it tolerate it later? Talk to a healthcare provider so that you can do some discovery in order to make the best choices for yourself. That's really important. Now, when it comes to movement, you do have to prioritize you to do it, but you can do it any way that you choose. Like, I can remember during COVID when there were no fitness classes, right? No fitness classes were occurring. And I needed to get my kids moving too. And it was kind of before you were ready to really walk around outside places. We were wearing masks and all the things. You know, you can actually just take 15 minutes for yourself and go online. You could probably follow CFIT coaching and walk with you, just kind of, because sometimes you don't want to feel like you're by yourself. Like, we are meant to be relational. And so if you can either find an accountability partner in your life, or if not, you can find something online. I can remember when I had a small baby, like he was younger than 8 weeks, and I would put on Leslie Sansoni's video in order to walk with someone. So I'm watching the video, I'm walking in place. You're doing steps in place. The baby is right there looking at me like, Mom, what are you doing? But I needed to get that movement during that postpartum healing process. That's what needed to happen. Give me 1 second to change a plug. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. So while Shad takes care of that, do you see why I wanted to bring her on here, how amazing she is? And I am wearing, just so, don't forget what you were going to say, Shad, but okay. So Sha and I have been working together, and on her website, which is linked to this in this description, you'll find her there. Yes, 100%. Go check her out. Check out her FITWEAR line, where she has all kinds of sayings and captions on her gear. Super cute things, and not just clothing too, accessories. She says that she has a mug. Shani, you have caps and accessories and bags and all kinds of cute things. You just did something for breast cancer awareness. It's probably still ongoing, right?
Yes. And so definitely encouraging our ladies. Of course, we always think of it in October. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we do want to remind the ladies to get the tatas checked, get your mammogram. But, you know, do it don't forget and encourage at least 5 women in your life, and do your self breast exams also, but nothing equates a mammogram. Everyone
You know
needs
what
to
I
get
just
their
learned the
mammogram.
other day?
What's
I
that?
just learned, because I know another medical professional, and she actually went to a university or some organization to give a talk about breast exams and self breast exams. And there were women in there that says, "No, I don't touch myself."
We
And
have to be. Go ahead.
it's sad, because in this case we're not even talking anything like um what's the word I'm looking for? Pornographic, for lack of a better word. We're talking self-care. We're talking, this could be a matter of life and death.
Mhm.
And I would encourage everyone, if you cannot touch yourself, as far as this is concerned, have someone else do it, or go get your annual breast exam, like Shah was saying. But I didn't want
Yeah,
to cut you off, so.
no problem. I definitely encourage women to get their annual. Look at you with your CFIT month. Go ahead, girl. Listen, come on, branding.
My
But I
first.
would encourage women to get a mammogram. The thing about doing your self exams is because you're going to be aware of your body changes.
100%.
So if something feels different, if something hurts, if something's not movable, you need to alert a physician, you need to schedule an appointment. And if you don't have a doctor, there are options. I'll make sure I share a link with you and it is on the Functional Fitwear page, where people can search up based on their insurance coverage that they have. But even for the women that don't have coverage, there are options.
Mhm.
You need to seek care. And I think a lot of times we're underinsured as far as minorities.
Mm.
And we still have options available. There are, in some cities and areas, like the mammogram bus, there are options, but you have to be open to looking for them and being proactive for yourself. No one is going to care about you more than you. If you're not there, and that's possible that you're not there to actually even care about yourself, because some people don't. Some people
Mhm.
aren't there yet.
Mhm.
Maybe look at the loved ones who rely on you. And if
Right.
you can't do it for you, do it for them. But I hope you will love yourself enough to do it for you. It's
Mm.
really important to learn that. But I understand that some people have to learn that. And some people are also givers. They give their whole lives and never check on themselves. So we
Right.
have that population as well. And so I just implore you, encourage you, queens, take care of yourself. Please do your care. And part of your care means seeing a doctor. And it's more than just, breast exams. We have to do the other exams too. We have to see a gynecologist too. We have to know our numbers too. And we have to take the best care of ourselves. And what you really want to do is, do the prevention. Movement is prevention.
Yeah.
Eating the right things is prevention. Drinking your water is prevention. Learning about what your body needs is prevention. And
Mhm.
so that you can have a long lasting and healthy life. It's not about how long will you live. Sometimes it's about the quality of life during that
Always about the
lifetime.
quality. It's
It's
always
like,
about the
do you
quality.
want to be able to walk up and down stairs and walk distances, or do you want to be able to go to that concert? Listen, if New
Right.
Edition, listen here, they know I'm going to be there. So, I just want
Yeah.
us ladies to continue to encourage each other. So representation matters.
Yeah.
You being you, me being me, and showing and sharing and being honest and putting ourselves out there, that can encourage someone else to do for themselves. And so I just appreciate it. That's what functional fitwear is about. So that for me, I wanted a new workout outfit so that I could feel good when I was going to connect with a training group. I could feel
Mhm.
cute. Who doesn't want to look cute? It's
I wanna look at.
it can be a self-esteem builder. It
Oh,
can be
100%.
encouraging sometimes. Sometimes you use it as the carrot at the end, saying, okay, when I achieve this, or when I'm consistent for myself, then I will go ahead and splurge on this or that. So, you can use it for however you choose, but I wanted to make sure that we approach the diversity that has a need to have quality clothing that was modestly priced. I
Mhm.
Anybody can sit here and tell you, yeah, give me $100 for these leggings. I will not. I will
Right,
not,
right, right.
because I want to make sure that our people have access to quality clothes and they need access to healthcare. Don't get me started. Make sure you vote November 5th.
We already spoke about that, right? My YouTube followers, we talked about that a little bit.
Listen, you can't say it enough.
Yes, you are right about that. Everything that you said, Shani, was so beautiful, beautifully put about taking care of self, about how to prioritize the things that are important to us. So I definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming on to this YouTube channel to lend a little bit about what you believe in and what you've been doing, and talking about your faith-based business and the fact that we are actually in collaboration with each other. That makes this conversation even that much more powerful, and that you have so much to say. I would love to bring you back on here one day so that we can talk a little bit more about health, because I am passionate about that. And when I tell people, I say, I'm not a dietitian yet. I'm not I'm not these things, not yet, but I'm on my way there, because I feel like everybody wants to be healthy. Nobody wants to be sick. I don't think that everybody wants to be sick. And for us to put this blanket statement, or for us to just kind of put this blanket idea, eat healthy. Sha, so many people don't know what healthy is. Right?
Speak on that too. Yeah. And there are some amazing people, such as yourself, that are sharing and shedding light. Just because something says organic, we're doing all this discovery of what that really means, right? Just because something is fresh produce doesn't really necessarily even mean that it was, not filled with pesticides.
Right.
And having awareness of, for certain types of fruits that grow out of the ground, it does make a difference in how they treated the land, right? So, we all get at different spaces in what we're learning about health. But I will say two things. One, I love that you said this week, like if you go out and you make a mistake that you told yourself you're going to avoid something, all is not lost. And I love that you said that, because I can remember being very black and white with myself. I was either on or not. I was either doing this or I wasn't. And I will tell you, I've learned over time to give myself grace. So I would encourage anybody who watches this, give yourself grace on your wellness journey. And you've shared, sometimes you're on point and sometimes you're not. Give yourself grace. Like, that's one thing I've definitely learned about God, that he loves me no matter what. Okay. And he don't play about me. He don't play about you either. And so, when you realize how much he loves you unconditionally, you learn how to love differently.
How about that? So true.
You learn how to love differently and give others grace as well. I think we got to bring kindness back into the world, but have awareness, research, look into it, learn more about what is best for yourself. And it's okay to start over. I can't tell you how many times I've had a restart, maybe around the holidays or after the holidays. You try not to do a whole lot of weight fluctuations. Or if you're planning ahead, if you can plan ahead and you're going to explore, splurge on a certain type of meal, you're going to a certain restaurant, or you're expecting homecoming weekend to be this or that, where it wasn't a meal prep time in your life, that's okay. When you get home, get back on track. Because obviously if you're traveling, but as you continue to have consistency, you'll fall back to it. You won't even feel right without doing right.
Right. Because there comes a times where you just know too much and it's kind of like, okay, wait, what am I really doing here? What am I really doing here? And then, you will fall back on it. So, and it's just a matter of living day by day. Everything that we do, we should be wondering, is this serving my goals? Or am I working against my goals right here? And everything, whether it comes to movement, right.
Everything you put in your mouth, it either helps you or hurts you. It was one or the other. It's one or the other. So it's not like we're saying you have to be stringent. It's just about making better choices for yourself. That's what it's about. And it's not about restriction either. Do I look restricted? I do not even look restricted on this camera. I don't, and I'm not, right? But I try to be intentional more often than I'm not, because I understand the end result if I'm not.
Right.
And I had to see it for myself. And I will tell anybody who's watching, document your journey. And if you don't do that, look backwards at your selfies. You will see different points in your life, points that you may have tried this or that. You'll see when you were on point and when you weren't.
And you'll also remember what you were feeling at that time.
Yes. I looked backwards and it about shocked me into doing better recently. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute now."
Right, right, right. You're like, oh,
So
wait.
it can be a little bit of like a barometer even, you know.
It can be. It can be if you're the type to keep posting and taking all these selfies, even if they're in your phone. But just take a scroll back and look at what you look like. And I appreciate Facebook sometimes where they're like, a year ago today. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Or okay, I didn't look so. Sometimes don't we have this idea that, oh, we wish we look a certain way, and then when you look back in time 5 years ago, it's like, oh my God, I looked amazing back then. Looked amazing back then.
And the other thing too, it's so important no matter what to appreciate your body just as you are. Just as you are. You can have your goals and you can work towards a better wellness each and every day, but appreciate the fact that your heart is beating right now and how much work it's actually doing and serving you. Your body is serving you every day.
I don't think enough people think about that. So I appreciate you saying that. We wake up and we take for granted, first of all, that we're going to wake up. We take for granted that our heart will continue beating. We take for granted that we can smell things, see things, hear things, taste things. We take for granted that we do have the money in our pocket, that if we wanted whatever it is that restaurant is on the special menu tonight, we can go have. We take so much for granted that sometimes not intentional. It's not because we're assholes. It's because we just expect that this is going to happen. But think about the people that didn't wake up this morning. I have a friend, somebody that I've known for years. I was just hanging out with him. Actually, so many people know that I am a twin, and we go to this twins festival every year. We hang out with these two dudes every year. He's 1 year older than me, and one of the twins just passed away from heart disease. And it's kind of like, wait, what? And we are not promised tomorrow. And he's leaving behind a twin, which I don't know if anybody understands that bond is like no other. But tomorrow might not come for us. And who are we leaving behind? Are we ready for that? Are they ready for that? Are we ready for them to have to face that? When we could have avoided it. And of course, everybody has their time, but there's that, and then there are things worse than death, right? So think about your 80-year-old self, and what are you doing to support her? Are you giving her the best chance that you can give her? Or like how do you picture her living, your 80-year-old self? Is she hooked up to tubes? Or is she actually carrying in her own groceries, right? She's taking a walk around the block with her community. What is she doing? Do the things now that will support your 80-year-old self. It's so important.
I love that. Let me make sure 80-year-old Shah's all the way together. Yes, and do the things that I can do for her now. What can I do for her now? And it's so important. I want to also encourage our men out there, our brothers, they need to do their healthcare too. Sometimes they're carrying the weight of the world. We are used to our capes flapping in the wind, and we have to be okay with putting our cape down. We have to be okay with putting our cape down. But for our brothers, of a particular age, you need to do your prostate exams. If you're finding yourself urinating all the time, frequently, more often, don't just throw it off to being blood pressure medication causing you to go to the bathroom all the time. Get your prostate checked. Even the younger men, we're seeing people in their 40s having strokes and heart attacks. It has to do with lifestyle, not just what you eat, not just if you moved or not.
It's not, and just not because it's being passed down.
And it's not just that, it's stress level too.
Yeah.
What can we do to allow ourselves a balance, to not carry so much weight in that way. We got to take a look at our circles. We decide how we let people treat us. And you make changes where you need to make the changes. I can remember being so stressed and carrying so much extra weight because the stress level would cause weight gain based on your hormones in your life. So even if you don't acknowledge the stress, but you know what it is, it was causing weight gain right around that tummy. And so that also leads to illness. I've also dealt with fatty liver disease as well. Okay. So I had to make intentional changes. So we can look at different factors, and I have changed a job in order to decrease the stress level. I can remember a doctor advising me of just that. She said, you need to change your job. And I was like, and I was working from home. It wasn't NICU. My neonatal intensive care babies, I love and miss. It wasn't being in the hospital dealing with high intense, stressful deliveries. It wasn't that. It was working from home, being stuck at a desk because the workload was enormous. And I couldn't even get up because I need to get this work done. And it was that stress level that caused that weight gain plus sitting still. So I did make that change for myself. I did put myself first and take all that I've learned and move forward. We have to have the opportunity to have work-life balance too. And if your employer doesn't understand that, guess what? That's not the employer for you. Because if you drop dead now, your desk will be cleaned out before the end of a week. People have died with plenty of PTO in the bank. PTO hours stacked because they don't have the time to take off, or they think they don't have the time to take off, or they don't have the finances to take off. Take off even if you are doing staycation. Take off, use your PTO, keep your stress level down. But find balance in your life. And if you need help even finding your peace, that's another thing, for me, I get my peace from God. I get my strength from God. He is my source. So when you have that kind of a source, things can be limitless.
100%. Ooh, yes, you said it. I think this is a good time for us to wrap it up. Time for God. God is on your side. And for those who feel more comfortable with the terms prayer, meditation, quiet time, self-time, breathing exercises, all of those things count. They work to take care of self, whatever that looks like for you. Oh my goodness, Asha, thank you so much for gracing this channel with your presence and your words.
I'm so excited for you. So excited. You look beautiful and amazing in all of your functional fitwear by C-Fit. I love it. You look so good.
Yeah. So, and every once in a while, I'm like, you know what? I think I want another color pair of leggings. Or you know what? I want something else. And she's like, what you need, I got it. What you need, I got it. So thank you for that, Sha, for putting up with me. I'm always kind of like, something else. So yes, I would love for you all to go to functionalfitwear.com, see what Sha's got going on. Just take a look. If you punch in C-Fit, the letter C, F-I-T, into the search box, you'll see a slew of my items pop up as well. They are moderately priced and they'll ship right to you. Nothing has to come to me and I send it off to you. And so just go ahead and support some sisters and get some cuteness going on, because it's all on that site.
And that's the phenomenal part about it. When they're buying and supporting C-Fit, they're actually supporting 2 Black women business owners at the same time.
I didn't even think about that, but yes, ma'am. And and I gotta tell you, that's why I'm so excited that my C-Fit brand is with you, because I get to support you. Not only are you a sister, but you're a Goldman Sachs alumni like me. And that's just all kinds of exciting to me. And every time I meet women who are about something, I'm always trying to come up in my head, how can I best serve her? And how can I serve and how can I learn from her? And what can we collaborate with where we can make this union benefit the both of us? And so we were able to find
Absolutely.
that. And I'm really excited about that. So with that, I'm going to let you go so that we can, start our winding down, because we're taking care of self, right? We got to be in bed at a certain
Right.
hour. Any last words that you would like to say? Something that you didn't get a chance to say? Anything?
No, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for believing that I could represent your brand well. Thank you for trusting me. I received that. I appreciate that. And I just love seeing you represent you. And I love the difference that you're making out here in the world. So just keep it going.
I'm trying.
You're
I'm
doing.
so passionate about this. Thank you, sweetie.
Mhm.
I'm so passionate about us thriving. For those who want to, for those who are there, there are people who like, I want to do better and I know I can do better. I just need the guidance. And I'm hoping that my voice reaches their ears and I say, come and let's get this journey started together. And then I'll help you find a way where you can just be like, I got it from here. Or you stick with me until, however long you need to be with me. Because some people just need that guidance and that direction. Just point me in the right direction, I'll get there.
We're
And
not
that's
meant
what I
to do
want to
life
be.
alone. We're not meant to do life alone. And I will tell you, your value of being a coach in that area of life is important and it's priceless. And so I would encourage anybody who knows that they need to do better for themselves to outreach CFIT Coach and Coach Carmel. I have done the same thing in my journey as well. I had coaches. First, it was a physician slash, a food coach, because I had to build a better relationship with food. And then secondly, I've had trainers as well. So we're not meant to do life by ourselves.
We're not. And we can stay and talk about this all day. But you look amazing. Love working with you. Functional FITWEAR. Check us out. How's that?
Yes.
Links are in the description. Thank you for joining us for this conversation. And yes, thank you, Sha. And I will see you all next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Share this with somebody that you think that might enjoy this, and share with everybody else. And definitely subscribe. I am only 140 people away from having 1,000 subscribers. So will you be a subscriber and support my channel so that big things could happen for Coach Carmel? I would appreciate it. And I would love you more than I already do. So with that, I'm going to say good night. And thank you again, Sha.
Good night. Bye-bye.